Greetings upon greetings and greetings.
Hello. Hello, everybody. It's a little crazy around here. Welcome. Welcome to Here to Help You. Welcome to Here to Help You. See, even Grant is
He's over
dancing
there
back
bobbing,
there.
eh? Big up to Grant.
Welcome, everybody, to Here to Help You. Wow.
Yes.
My co-host. Let me introduce you first, and we can get into what's going on today. Because it's been a long day for everybody, you know?
It's true. But you know what? It happens.
It does, and it's for a good cause.
Yes, it is.
Right? We're all tired, but it's for a good cause.
But we
And
have
it's
to keep
hot.
pushing.
But it's for a good cause,
That's okay.
you know?
You know what I'm saying?
My co-host, the Don Dave Rankin to my right.
Alongside the Donette, Simone Jennifer
And this
Smith.
is my second time on today.
So you must be eagerly
You know what? Soft things, guys.
soft things.
Soft things.
Go on
But
with it,
you
my
know
girl.
why you've been here all day today?
Tell me.
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. There's a lot that's happening in this studio right now. Appropriation. Big up yourself, Grant. Grant's behind the scenes today. This is why his show wasn't on today. So you guys, I know you missed the gloves are off, but don't worry, he'll be back.
Who
He
knows?
had to take care of
He
us.
has to lead from example, right? As they say, lead from the front.
Yeah, man.
Right?
But he's
so
leading
you
from
took
the
the
back.
time. Listen.
Just saying, he ain't in the front. We in the front.
Well, normally Grant's in the back office, of course, or he's not in the office because, of course, he wears so many hats.
Yes.
But today he has the exclusive hat wearing of course, the
But
producer.
he's so troublesome when he's here.
Why do you think so?
Because he troubles me. Been troubling me since I got here, but that's all that's going on here at the TCN TV network, okay?
It's wild and crazy, I tell you, folks.
So why are we here today, Dave? Tell everybody.
Because we have a show to do.
Wow, he didn't
yes.
check any of the emails.
No,
Why are we here
not at all.
today,
Of course,
Dave?
you know what? Today we have the marathon. In the back, we have the Hurricane and Maria Island.
Irma. You missed a word.
I missed a word, didn't I, right?
Yes,
Oh, my
one.
God. Hurricane Irma and Maria Island Relief Fund. Please, at the bottom, GoFundMe, Care 101.
Now listen, it's not just donations here. You can also come down to the office.
Yes.
We have been receiving items, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, body wash, towels not used.
Brand new hygiene
Anything
products.
personal hygiene not
Yes.
used. Please bring
Children's,
in.
anything for children, especially for the
books,
children.
pencils, school's back in. They
Pampers,
everything,
formula,
whatever you have,
bring it come.
bring it come. Now, this is the thing. This is why we are doing this today, is because what tends to happen, and I've been speaking on this even on my social media, is that an event will happen, and then it's on the news for a week.
Right.
And then after the week is done, it disappears, and it's like it never happened. But usually these people are still suffering.
Of course.
And that's what's happening in this case. So.
Well, of course, sometimes we have the pray for this city or the pray for that country, right? And then
that's it.
Silent.
Facebook will put up their flag that you can put on your Facebook profile
Right.
for a day, and then
that's it.
that's all. But here at my TCN TV and the Care Media Group, we don't forget. We're not just going to let our community forget either about what's happening, because with our community, a lot of our community was affected. Even though we're not there, we have families there.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So we have to continue to do something for them.
Yes, and we definitely have to go ahead and extend a helping hand to our neighbors. Some of us, of course, may not come from exact countries where, have been affected.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, we have to make a global and a conscious effort to extend the helping hand to our families.
Always remember, you think it can't happen to you, but that's always like that person's last words is, "Oh, this will never happen to me." Then it happens,
Right.
and then you want the help. So always put yourself in the position of being the helper, so that gets come back, or
Of
that
course.
comes back to
That comes
you
back to, of course.
tenfold,
That's
right?
for sure. That's for sure. I believe I think someone from the consulate is supposed to come by later on today. Hopefully you'll be able to pop in during the show.
He might pop
say
in
a few
during our
words.
show, but if not,
By all means, you know what? We say thank you, of course, for taking the time to come down today. Come through. Regardless of whose show you end up being on, at least you get a chance
should be our
to
show.
say a few words, and by all means, of course, express some of the still needs that are of course, that the people that need right now, right?
Yes.
I mean, we have an island that is simply not suitable for residency.
yeah, people can't even live there still.
Could you imagine that? Not suitable for residency.
That was our house this weekend.
Stop it. That's lies.
So that's an inside joke, but we'll just leave it at that. But
it's now at the outside door, I tell you that.
But no, seriously though, it's something that we need to do. And there's been a few shows on so far. So you've missed CMJ Live.
Yes.
That was with Charles. And I heard he had a very interesting lady on today. She had a very interesting story. Mm-hmm. So that might want to be
seen him, but they meet and greet in of course in the meeting room.
Yes, and from what we do hear, the show was pretty impactful because of what she speaks about
and what she's gone through.
So that might be cool to check out.
Yes.
And then after Charles was
Alyssa, Real Talk with guess who was the guest to my left. You're right.
Me.
Yes.
Cultural appropriation. I'm telling you now, watch that one for sure. I liked doing it because why are you laughing at me?
Why did you enjoy the topic?
Why is Grant talking from behind the engineering booth? Aren't they supposed to be quiet? Why are we hearing you? So I don't understand. And think about it, he didn't do this on any other show. We want to come make up sport now.
Well, you know how it goes, right?
So why did I enjoy cultural appropriation? Because I think that it's a topic that it's shied away from. So I'm very happy that Alyssa did bring it up and that she brought it to me and involved me in that conversation. It was really good dialogue. Mm-hmm. We were able to speak about a few topics, and hopefully we're able to shed some light and educate people on what is appropriation and what's not. Mm-hmm. And I've said, of course, to people, if you have any questions, if you watch and you're still like, oh, we still don't get it, please comment. You can contact Alyssa or myself here at my TCN.
Of course.
Let us know. And then after that was a new show. So Kim and Kelly.
Kim and Doug, right? Kim and Doug?
Kim and Kelly.
Is it? Kim and Doug. Kim and Doug, yes. One for the good guys. Kim and Doug.
Now that I know that it wasn't really my fault, that it's supposed to be Kim and Doug, I do apologize. But anyhow, regardless, good first show.
Yes.
Of course, being the new show on the block, they have some, some work to do. They have some work to do.
But it's good work.
It's going to be great work. And they have a good supporting team. They have all of us.
They got all of us here. So I hope they enjoyed it.
You'll be just fine.
Taking the show, family.
So after that show was, of course, the man.
You might know him as the Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Because, of course, anywhere you see that red, white, and blue symbol. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. J. Bridgepaul.
Yes.
The real estate of real estates. And today, apparently, they were talking about, for homeowners, they were talking today about basements.
Building a basement apartment.
So this might be something you might know for those people who think they're handy. Might be a show you could have learned something from it. I heard Grant did. So if you guys hear anything about or see anything about Grant doing anything in his basement, or he's out of commission because he's hammered his hand or something, you know why. So at least if you're gonna do something, do it constructively. And then here to help you,
tis us.
It's us, and then after us, Jamal, the Visionary Show.
Yes.
But today, we are waiting for our guest. Mrs. Sandra Smith is gonna be coming in. She'll hopefully be here for our next segment. If she's not stuck on the 410, which I have a feeling she is.
She probably is.
But today we're going to be talking about homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
Why people do it, first of all. Why it's a good idea to do.
Mm-hmm.
And why she does it. And, of course, how does she handle that with everything else she does? So I know she does work with schools in Jamaica.
Okay.
So she's in charge of fundraising and things. She has more details about it. I don't want to speak for her. I just want to tell you that I know she's involved in efforts. She's a woman
who wears many hats.
She wears many hats. She's real estate as well.
Right.
She's a mother.
Okay.
And she's a mother who homeschools. So she's doing a lot.
Yes. So she's got at least 2 full-time jobs there.
Yes, because homeschooling is it's difficult if you don't have the right support.
Yes.
If you don't have the right resources,
Correct.
It can be a nightmare, and you could actually disadvantage your children.
Yes.
Instead of advantaging them. But in saying that, there's some really great benefits. I've worked with some homeschooling children, and the ones I have worked with, they've graduated at the age of 15.
Oh boy.
Done school.
Because they've done all the necessary.
They've done everything through homeschooling, right? You can homeschool and teach basically what you want up until grade 9.
Okay.
After grade 9, though, Ontario does have resources, and they have different sites online that you can do your homeschooling. You only have to go in to do things like the exams and things like that. But you can do all your homeschooling from grade 9 straight to grade 12. So if you're serious and dedicated, you could do 2 grades in 1 year.
In 1 year.
So it's something that, you know what, it gets good. It's hard. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of like scheduling and staying on scheduling and staying motivated. But if you have a good resource, if you have good parents working with their children, there's a dynamic that has to happen.
Needs to be created.
Because if that dynamic is not there, failure.
Can understand that.
Yeah, it can lead to failure. So we'll be talking about that stuff. And then, of course, just learning more about who Sandra is. There's a lot of really great people in our community. And again, here at MyTCN, we want to honor people in our community who are doing more.
Correct.
So when we get back, I'm hoping she'll be here. But if not, we will still go into our discussion on homeschooling. And Dave will probably start giving us some of the resources that are out there and things that we've experienced. And we can have an open dialogue about that.
Let's do it.
See you soon.
Hello, my name is Jay Bridgebaum.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back. I found her. She was roaming the halls.
Oh boy.
And
I was doing no such thing. I was busy reading.
She was roaming the halls.
Hanging.
It starts already.
It's going to be interesting from this point on. So I would love to welcome, look at you. My big sister, Sandra Smith. You notice how I said that?
You know, when I was in school in Jamaica, it's funny, they always call me Simit. And I didn't know the difference. And then I came here and it's Smith. And I'm like, it's Smith?
You mean you pronounce?
I know.
The colonial language.
Yes. Simit.
And I put the two when you should be separating, right?
Yeah.
Simit.
I never knew it was Smith until I came here. And I'm like, Smith? Okay.
It's very backwards.
Sense.
Very backwards. So I'd like for you, first of all, I was going into all these things. I saw these nice things about Sandra.
Oh, yes.
Today on Facebook.
I know. I told her I have to be able to live up to all those adjectives.
But I want you to tell people, who are you? Sandra, you've been hiding.
No, I haven't been hiding. I've been laying low.
She's been laying low, but there's a reason for this. So tell the city of Toronto that you are back and what you are doing.
Well, I've never really gone anywhere. I was just taking some time out because I wanted to focus on my children.
Yes, your mother know.
Yeah.
Mothers.
Yeah. And it's been Wonderful. I'm raising a rebel and a little saint. As you know, you've met them.
Oh, a rebel and a saint.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the rebel said, Mom, you're not going on that interview without me. She says, I want to be able to speak. And I'm like, oh, God, she wouldn't mash up the show. I'm like, no.
Hi, Apple.
We can get her on the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I told her, I'm like, yeah, I want to get you on, but not today. Yeah, so she's not happy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Big up yourself, yeah?
Yes, large.
All right.
So, what do you want to know about me, Simone?
Jamaica. I want to talk about, talk about some of the work you do in Jamaica. 'Cause that's how I met you, kind of, sort of. I can't remember how I met you, but.
She actually picked me up on, was it on LinkedIn? She picked me
Okay.
up on
Okay.
LinkedIn.
Pause.
Okay. That is an interesting choice of words. So how does
Yes,
hold
it
on,
is.
hold on, no, don't say go any further. Hold on. You see, I'm new to this.
Oh, you
right?
are?
I'm new to
Okay.
this dynamic, right?
Okay.
And now when she uses the words "pick me up,"
Oh,
now,
yes.
I know there's a story here.
Yeah.
There is no story.
You
We
know
know
what?
people in
It was
Jamaica.
it was so
Let the
long. I
guest
can't remember the
speak.
story, but
Okay.
just so you know, and so everyone else, I'm glad we met. We hooked up. Yeah, that was a great thing.
You know what? I don't even know why I asked you to come on the show because I knew this was going to be the nonsense.
Listen.
So tell us about Jamaica. What do you do in Jamaica?
Okay,
tell us
so
all that stuff.
Okay, so let me tell you how I got started. I was born in Jamaica. You
Okay.
can tell from the
From
accent,
everything.
Yeah. So I was born in Jamaica. I went to elementary school, high school, and then I came here. And then when I came here, I'm like, oh my God, this is not home. But so every year I said I'm gonna go back, but I didn't. And then my grandmother got sick, and so like 2 days later I was on a flight. Boom.
Yeah.
So I've been back to Jamaica a few times, but my partner has never been back to Jamaica. So yeah. So one year I said, okay, 2005. I'm like, oh. Bought 2 tickets. I'm like, oh, we're going to Jamaica. He's like, what? I'm like, yep, we're going to Jamaica. So went to Jamaica, and while we're there, we visited some schools, and his cousin actually teaches at a school in Kingston. So went to the school, and the kids were just awesome little kids. They're so happy and, full of energy. And I mean, my best years, I always tell people, my best years were in high school in Jamaica, and elementary school too. And so I didn't realize though how we were lacking resources there at the time. I mean, I felt like we had everything.
Right.
But when you're in a society like this and you see what we have here now,
Right.
and then I go back and I'm like, oh my God, I mean, yeah, I remember sitting in these benches where like 3 kids to a bench, and this wooden bench, and they still had those in the schools. And here we've got computers, we've got all these,
Everything.
awesome resources, and they didn't have them there. And so we're like, okay, what can we do to help? Just need to help a little bit.
Of course.
And so on the flight back, we were like thinking about what we could do, talking it over, and then we decided, okay, we're gonna do whatever we can, but we're gonna start by doing a back to school drive, which would equip kids with a backpack filled with everything that they would need for the entire school year.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
And so that we gave birth to that idea in 2005, and we've been doing it ever since.
Yay.
And yeah,
I didn't get no bag.
No, you're too old. You've lucked out, darling. Sorry, can't help you.
There's an age requirement for you.
Yes, and you're too old.
What about the thing about being an learning student for the rest of your life? What about that?
No, you're gonna have to fend for yourself. I think I think a mind is a beautiful thing that should not be wasted. And I think that when you start molding them from a very young age, that's a good thing. So we focus on the young ones. So yeah, like I said, you're kind of out of luck. So we try to.
I sat here listening intently to get punked off. That's awesome.
So we target the little ones that
Of course.
What in college, Jamaica, primary
Primary,
school, in
yeah.
primary school,
yeah.
and in high school. So, based on the school that they're in, we give them what we know they need. Yeah, and what we do, we don't target schools. So what we do is we partner with organizations and schools in Jamaica, because we don't know what's going on with each student.
Exactly.
So we get them to tell us which student are in need, and so we give them what they need. And one of the things, I was talking to a principal out there, and what he was telling me, there's a program in Jamaica called PATH. And what PATH does is it provides transportation and lunch expenses for 3 days out of 5 for kids who really can't afford it. Yeah.
All right.
But then what happened to the other 2 days, right?
Exactly.
They only get in 3
Right.
days. So what he wanted us to do was to provide funding for these students to be able to get lunch and bus fare for the 5 days. But now the Jamaican government, yay, has decided, I know, they've decided that they're going to cover all 5 days, which is good. So we can focus, so we can, put all our focus on getting the backpacks. And now, I mean, we don't do any areas, we do the entire island.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were so big time.
No, well, you know me. I like to do things behind the scene because I think, when you put yourself out there, sometimes it becomes a distraction.
Yes.
And I don't want to be distracted.
They see the face and they don't see the work.
Yeah, they hear.
Right.
They hear the mouth.
But
can't you not tell that we must be related in some way, shape, or form?
Yes.
I'm not as crazy as she is.
Not
got bigger hair. I love it.
True, and she's not nearly as crazy as me.
No,
absolutely.
Please. You know what? You kind of mature a little bit when you get the older you get. So when you get to my age, it's gonna be all mellow. Enjoy the madness from now.
Thank you.
But you know what? She's great though because I was laughing because I noticed you called me community leader, and I'm like, this is real crazy. What community leader?
No.
Listen. There are some people out there that's doing great things. I have this girlfriend, Maxine Bailey, and she's been working tirelessly behind the scenes for the last, I don't want to age ourselves, but say over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts you on 53?
Oh, stop it. Do I look like I'm 53?
Stop it.
Yeah, you're rude.
Stop it.
Listen.
Tell us you're not past 35 yet.
No. 25. I'm barely over 25. But Maxine, so I've known Maxine since I'm 5. So she's, no, but seriously, she's been working tirelessly behind the scene for the last, 20 odd years. And nobody, she doesn't get any awards and any
no accolades.
No accolades.
Right.
She doesn't, because in Toronto you have all these black awards. She's never received one, but she works hard.
Yeah.
And not only does she work here in Toronto, her reach expands all the way to Ghana, where she does this. She supports the school. So, she does events here. I'm always supportive of everything she does because she does the same with me. But she gives them toilets, school bus. She builds a toilet, school bus, all these things.
Wow.
And then I have another friend, Beatrice Cabea, and she works with girls. She's got a organization called Voices to Girls. She works here in Toronto tirelessly, and she supports orphanages in the Congo. That's where she's from.
Actions.
Yeah, they they're working. Yeah, Jasmine Mitchell right here in Brampton. Everything I do, trust me, Jasmine is right there. She supports me and she works tirelessly in the community. Anne-Marie Moulton works in the community. Nobody knows about these people. So when you talk about leaders, these are leaders that nobody know about, but they're leading, they're doing things, they're making changes.
So we're gonna come back to that in a few minutes because I have some things to say.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Welcome back to the madness here at Here to Help You. That's complete madness all around here.
Yes, so, that is true. A whirlwind of emotions.
Yes. Far end here, the Don, if you guys don't already know him, Dave Rankin.
Yes, alongside the Donette, Simone Jennifer Smith.
Y'all know me. And in the middle here,
Sandra Smith.
We're no relation.
You swear that like that was just perfect.
It's just quick because we don't want to be like around each other. But no, we're here today doing the marathon, as you guys know, for the Relief Fund. I know you'll be interested in being on the show because it is about relief, and you know what's been happening in the West Indies. So yes, I'm very glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
I would also like for you to talk about, okay, well, we were talking about community leaders, and I want to hit on that for a little bit more before we go into, so what makes a leader? Dave, tell me, what makes a leader?
Action.
Yes.
Plain and simple, right? It's doing the things that a lot of people do not do or not wish to do, right? It's those little things. You stay behind a little bit later, right? You make sure, of course, all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, right? There's a responsibility in regards to that, right? So, I mean, a leader isn't a title that doesn't give out. It shouldn't be given out just to any and anyone, right?
I agree.
And if you're leading, does it mean you're a leader?
See,
these are the questions
there's different components that go into that, right? Of course, a leader, one might say, of course, organized, right? One who takes counsel when one needs to, right? But also one who's not afraid to make those tough decisions, right? So, I mean, of course, there are different components. I mean, I'm sure we all can go ahead and debate on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, but at the end of the day, we're looking at action.
That's yes. Right. So, Miss Sandra, this is why I have to give you your title. I don't like you, so if I'm giving you a compliment, you have to just take it, man.
I take it.
That's false. Absolutely false.
Accept this. You are a community leader, and you are resurfacing and releasing you back into the Toronto community. So,
listen. she's releasing me. Let me tell you. You know, it's funny because my daughter actually says, "Mom, you need a vacation," and my mom's like, "Yes, you need a vacation. You're tired." And I'm like, "Oh my God,
you just got back. Tired. Really?
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, okay,
hold on. So, I just got back from vacation, but that's different.
No, listen.
Tell me why.
I think I should get a vacation at least once a week. Yeah, you're looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Once a week?
Yeah.
Hear her out.
Listen, I have no rest days.
Yeah, that's
I have
good.
absolutely no rest days. I mean, I homeschool. Well, no, I don't homeschool. I educate my children at home.
At home.
Mm.
Yes. And so I do that every day. And I'm doing it fighting with Apple. that's like work.
Yeah.
And I work.
That's a lot of work. Yes. That's like 8 children.
Oh yeah. I do that and I have to work. So when I get up in the mornings, I teach them. And while I'm teaching them, I'm working online. And then when I'm done teaching them, I have to go to meet with my clients. And this is almost what I do every day.
And it's tiring.
And it's tiring. And I go to my bed like, sometimes 2 in the mornings. And I'm like, for the first week, because I actually started my education at home, the very first week of school, regular school. And so I went to my bed at 9 o'clock. And the next day I felt amazing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this every night. Okay, that happened twice. So
every night.
Yeah,
going forward.
Because I felt wonderful.
Right.
And it literally happened twice, and then I was back to my 2 o'clock in the mornings and getting up at 7:30 when my alarm goes off. But the good thing about teaching them at home is that if my alarm goes off at 7 and I feel like I'm gonna drop, I just drop and close my eyes.
Right.
And so I could stay there for like another hour.
Of course.
Whatever.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
it's a
that's the
benefit
one,
for
yeah,
sure.
that's a benefit. So yeah, but I do as much as I can. And in Toronto, because really my focus is on the kids in Jamaica, because I find that you have a lot of organizations right here in Toronto that works with the Canadian
children.
Kids.
That's true.
And you do have organizations here as well that works and benefit the kids in Jamaica, but the need there is so great that I don't think that we'll ever be able to do enough. So the more people that does for these kids, the better off they'll be. So I mean, I love what I do. I have 2 passions. One, My children.
And bothering me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That goes without saying.
See?
And
knew
number
it.
2, other people's children. I love children, and I think that, you know, like I tell my kids, I said, listen, you can be and you can do anything you want in this world. There's nothing that's stopping you but yourself. So, I mean, it's the same thing with the kids in Jamaica.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So what made you decide to pull your children? Because you know what? I think that there's a lot of mothers in Toronto who want to homeschool or educate their children at home. See how I corrected that? You see that?
I like that.
So,
Not bad.
That's late, man.
Not bad.
You're
Not
late.
bad at all. Not bad at all.
So, what was that thing that made you pull them out and say, no, I'm doing this. I'm going to take control of, because you took control of your children's education.
I did. Well, it wasn't a decision that I just came to. I mean, we used to live in Caledon, and we were raising my stepchildren, and they were going to school in Brampton. And then we moved to Scarborough, and they didn't want to move from their schools in Brampton. So,
Makes sense.
Daddy had to drive them every day to school in
From
Brampton,
Scarborough.
from Scarborough.
Wow.
And yeah, it was really tiring because he had to drive them 3 different schools, pick them up. So that was his day, and
Wow.
how do you hustle when you spend your day
like,
driving?
Exactly.
Like a taxi driver.
And yeah, so one day he had an accident, and he's like, oh my God, I
Can't
I'm
do
not
this.
going to do this anymore.
Right.
I'm going to pull the kids out, because then one was in university by now, and says, I'm going to let them do independent learning, because you could do that through
That's right.
the Independent Learning Center.
That's right.
So that's what that's how we actually started. And then I had my daughter, and since the other kids were at home, my stepkids were home doing their independent learning, I just got into the habit of teaching my daughter. So I didn't put her into junior kindergarten. And then at senior kindergarten, I decided to put her in because I wanted her to be in French immersion.
Okay.
When I put her in senior kindergarten, she was at a grade 3 level. And I mean, I go to Jamaica very often. So when I'm in Jamaica, there's this old school teacher, typical like a Jamaican. And so she used to teach my daughter.
Okay.
So when I put her in school, she actually went in at a grade 3 level in senior kindergarten. And so when she came home, and I used to look at her work, and I almost cried because they had her tracing the alphabet, which was already writing sentences. So so I was a little bit, I was depressed. And so we went away for about 6 months, and they kicked her out of French immersion because they're like, okay, you can only be away for like, I don't know,
X amount of days.
Yeah. So anyways, they kicked her out. And so I put her, since she was already in school, I'm like, okay, this was grade 2. No, this was grade 1. So I put her in, she did senior kindergarten in French immersion, and then she did a half of grade 1, I think. And then I put her, when we came back from our vacation extended, I put her in, in school,
ridiculous.
And she liked it. And then I put her in, so she did grade 2 in public school. And then she went into grade 3. And, I'm a very active mom, so put her in grade 3. And then my littler one went to junior kindergarten. And so in grade 3, I talked to the teacher because I want to know. I engaged them. I want to know how my child's doing. And the teacher says, "Oh, your daughter is very slow. She's very slow, and I always have to." And I said to her, "I've seen her work. She's not slow. She's bored, because you're giving her things now that she did before she went to senior kindergarten.
Yeah.
So you're not challenging her."
Yeah.
And then my daughter's into reading novels in grade 3. I think it was probably from grade 2. The teacher sent home a note saying that she's taking books from the library that's too big for her. I'm like, how can you tell my daughter she's taking books that are too big for her? She can read it.
Let her read.
It. Don't limit her.
Yeah.
Don't place any limitations on her. So when the teacher was saying she's slow, I'm like, oh my God, I can't deal with these people. And then Apple.
Okay, wait, before you go into Apple, no. Segue, because we have 22 seconds.
Okay.
Apple's a whole nother, that's our last segment entirely,
goodness.
okay? When we get back, we'll talk about Miss Apple. Hi, Apple. See you soon.
Incredible India.
So we're back, and you know what? I knew this was gonna happen. You know what, Sandra? We have like only a little bit of time left. We have like one more segment, and it's almost done.
I know that.
Time
I
flies.
told you it went really
Yes, it
quick.
does.
So
am I enjoying this or what? You know, this when you're having fun, it goes by really quick.
you have a little bit of time, and then that's it.
All right. Well,
You're
now I'm gonna
done.
talk about Apple then, because Apple take up about 2 hours.
No, give her like, let's
See?
give her 2 minutes.
Now I need to
Well,
meet Apple.
She's a
Yeah.
character. Yes, she
I-
is.
you know,
Some of the
Apple-
children that we meet with the teaser are. Yeah.
Apple has always been with me. So when I took her to junior kindergarten, I figured she's gonna hold on to me and not want to go to class. I took that kid to school. She said, "Bye, mommy." I'm like, what? Anyway, I was traumatized. So anyway, she went to school and she loved it. She became the teacher's helper. She was doing great in school, but you know, Apple, geez, I can't even talk about her. But then I slapped her one day, and she went to school and tell the teacher that I slapped her. But she told me she was going to tell the teacher. I said, "Yeah, go ahead. The teacher will say you deserve it." She went and told the teacher. Yeah, she went and she told the teacher that I slapped her, and the teacher called Children's Aid.
Yeah, I
now you
remember
know
this.
me when it comes to anything to do
Yeah.
with the system.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just totally
Yeah,
against
not
the
about
system.
it.
Yeah.
So when Children's Aid called me, I thought, I just went back and dropped her off after lunch. Children's Aid called me, and I'm like, oh my God, because I know my girlfriend had issues with one of her daughters, so I'm like, maybe they wanted a character
statement.
reference
Something.
or something. Yeah. So I called, and she says, "Do you know?" And I'm like, oh my God, did something happen to my daughter? But why are they calling me?
Yeah.
And she says, well, we got a report that you slapped her. And I'm like, what? So yeah, so I had to tell them, yeah, so I had to tell them
That she's
at
being
Children's
disciplined.
Aid that
Yeah.
my role as a mother is to discipline my child.
Right.
She needs discipline in, and they have no part in it, and that I'm going to take my kids out of school right away. And so I went to the school and I told the principal, I said, listen, I don't like that, because you see the relationship I have with my kids. I mean, when I go
Better.
pick up my daughter, she's running to me like we're in love.
Yeah.
And you're going to call
Yes.
Children's Aid to disrupt
Silly.
my family?
Right.
Absolutely.
I said, if they were boys, I'd be worried, because they're going to go into the jails that they make for black people. Don't mess with my kids.
That's
I said,
right.
Tell 'em,
and,
preach.
yeah. And then he's
right.
like, so I said, I'm going to homeschool my kids. And they're like, oh, but they need the socialization. I said, no, my kids don't need you to socialize them. I could do a very good job of that.
There you go.
And, that's something that, so I pulled them out, because, not
very
just because
strong.
of that, but that was like,
That
Yeah,
was
that
the
was-
yeah,
last.
that was the
that was
final
the-
straw. It's like,
Yeah.
because homeschooling my kids is very important to me, because the mind is such an awesome thing, and as a parent, when you can mold that child, and you've met Apple.
Oh Lord,
When you
that
can,
girl.
when you can mold that child and let them realize that they could do
Anything.
anything and be anything and learn at any pace. I give her grade 1 work and she's upset. She's like, I want grade 5 work like my sister, and she can handle it.
And she
Yeah.
can do it.
She can do it.
Yep.
Yeah. And my older daughter, she's like almost an introvert until you get her started, and she talks nonstop. And then her dad, he's like an intellect, and he's like, oh my God, she make me feel like I don't know anything. And I'm like, yeah. She's always researching,
Yeah.
always doing things. Amazing kids. And I know if I had them in the public school system, they would have been, their abilities would have been suppressed.
You know what I do, and it's funny because I do work with sorry, I'm gonna have to say this. I do work with another young lady who's very, very brilliant. Actually, I won't say the name because confidentiality, but I do tell the parents too, where I'm like, well, you can't probably homeschool, you don't have time, but you need to put the young lady in another school because she's beyond. And it's true, just when that child is beyond their classmates, sometimes even the issues that happen in school, things that you're talking about, is because they're just bored.
They're bored.
Right.
I don't want to be here. This is boring.
Yeah,
I can,
they're
you know,
bored.
it's,
They're
but
bored.
for you, and one thing I do want you to talk about is some of the difficulties, because with your children being as brilliant as they are, you've told me about the struggles of getting them like resources.
Oh my
so
goodness!
resources is an issue. It's an issue.
It is an issue, and the first year when I started teaching them at home, I was totally devastated because the Canadian curriculum, the books that I was getting, they were like
garbage,
useless. Yeah, I was
Right.
depressed, and
Yeah.
so I've done a lot of research, and Brittany. My darling Brittany, I miss
Big
you.
up yourself,
I
Channer.
know,
Travelers.
I miss you,
Travelers.
Britt. And the
I know.
kids miss you. But, she's been very helpful. So she searches for books. I'm always researching. I'm always, trying to find books. I'm reading this book, The Myth of Ability. I just started it, so don't ask me to speak about it. But
Speak
it's
about it.
basically telling you,
Stop
I
it.
know.
Stop it.
It's basically telling you that, when you have your kids in school, and even people who homeschool their kids too, it's like almost like a cookie cutter kind of mentality that we have. And then, we figure if they all don't perform at the same level, that some are better than others, and that's not the truth.
It's true.
So I'm hoping this is telling me that kids learn at different pace, which I know, I'm very aware of that.
Right.
And that you just have to adjust whatever
Tailor.
you're doing, tailor it.
Right.
Made.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
just got to tailor made it for them, and it's amazing. But the resources, there are tons of resources out there. Great, some of them are really good. Some are garbage. You have to do your research. You have to, read people's
The blogs. The
comment. Yeah, you got to read the
comments,
blogs. You got to
right?
read the
Who's used
comments. You got to
resources.
yes.
Very true.
There's so much, and there's so many online schools. I just tapped into one called Monarch.
Okay.
And I did
know
it.
Monarch.
You know
yes.
Monarch,
Yes.
yes. So it has the Bible, and it's all Christian based, which is good because the society is kind of scaring me, and so I try to tend to
Of
lean
course.
towards Christian based things. So Monarch it was pretty good. I tried it with my older daughter. It's too big for my younger one. Saxon books, I love them, but my daughter is doing grade 1, and I bought Saxon 1, and I'm depressed because the things it's giving her, I'm like, oh my God,
She's
this
far
is
beyond this.
ridiculous. I
Yeah.
need to give her Saxon
Like
2.
8.
Right.
Or yeah, maybe 8.
Saxon
but
8.
yeah, I was actually but the thing with Saxon is that it's it teaches incremental, so it starts out basic and then it builds. But I'm thinking it's taking too long to build
build
up.
up.
We need to go a little bit faster because she's beyond that already.
Yeah.
And what they're doing in Saxon 1 math, she's already past that. So and the books are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But you could buy some used online. You got to buy the workbooks.
The workbooks, yeah.
New, but books are very, very expensive. What I find, which is unfortunate in Canada, I don't find a lot of support. And thank God for my little village, because I'd like...
You
I
need
would
a
die.
village.
I see that as well.
Yeah.
In America, you find
my
all the
goodness,
Afrocentric
yes.
resources,
Yes.
right? But
And
here,
there are a lot of homeschoolers. You
Yes.
could join groups. Here, I'm going to have to start one myself, but I'm trying to find people within my area that's doing it so I could start a group. Can't find anyone. And that's the one downside to it. Just, you don't have the support.
That support.
Yeah, you don't
It's
have
hard.
the support. So the first year I was totally overwhelmed. I'm not going to pretend and act like, oh my God, this is all,
No, of course.
I was totally, totally overwhelmed. I was depressed. And I didn't have the right material, and I felt like I was failing the kids. And then I met, I knew Simone, and then she, got me into Here to Help.
Okay.
Which was just awesome. And then she sent me Brittany. Oh, Brittany, I miss you.
We miss
Again,
you.
I know. She sent me Brittany, and Brittany's just awesome. I mean, I'm glad she's, going back to school, but Brittany's awesome. And so that took a weight off my shoulder, just having
Yeah.
that support.
Yeah.
And, and people say, well, how can you teach? You're not an educator. Trust me, you don't have to be an educator, because I think I'm learning more than the teachers in school that's teaching them right now.
Absolutely.
And I'm learning, ward off Alzheimer's. I'm learning as I go. Yeah.
That was your little
Yeah.
mental health tip. Words of Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Read a book.
Yeah. I'm learning,
awesome.
and I'm remembering things that I've forgotten.
Right.
Absolutely.
While I'm doing this. So it's amazing. It's challenging. I'm not gonna lie. It's challenging. But once you gotta have a system. And I'm still not even there yet. You gotta help me with that. I'm
will.
still not even
Don't
there
worry.
with my system. But once you have a system in place, I think it's you could do it.
Absolutely.
You
So
could definitely do it.
before we go, what's like one thing that you would recommend to a mother who, let's say, she's on the fence about homeschooling?
Trying to decide whether she should jump off that fence onto the homeschooling side. For sure, definitely.
And get find the support is out there. Find groups. You're in Scarborough.
I'm in Scarborough.
So tell people where to find you, if they want to donate things and help you out. Talk about that.
Oh, we've got, on Facebook, we've got a page called British to Jamaica.
That's right.
I am Jamaica. What's it called? British to Jamaica Education Resource Bank. So you could always find me there. We're on Twitter, British to Jamaica, number 2. And I'm on Twitter, Sandra Smith. I think it's Unique Home Needs because I'm also a real estate agent. I juggle. Yeah, I juggle and I hustle. I love it. Wouldn't have it any other way.
She's Jamaican. She has like 14 jobs, and this is how we make things possible.
Hey, man.
Just teaching uploaders is like 12. So so I do the home education. I do my British to Jamaica, and we do awesome things for kids. And we're gonna start with the help of Anne Marie. She's joining us on British to Jamaica, Anne Marie Moulton, and she's gonna be looking to inspire the children, because it's one thing to give them the resources, but without inspiration, we need to
That's correct.
inspire them, let them know that they could be great. Should they
there
choose
is no
to
myth
be.
to ability.
No.
Thank you, Sandra, for coming today.
Well, it was great being here. Thank you for having me.
We will have her back again because I love her. Thank you, guys.
And I love you
yes,
too.
we need to have Miss Apple sit in the
my
chair.
And we need Apple here, so that's
Trust
important.
me, Apple would take over.
I
That's
know
okay.
she would. It's okay.
That's okay.
Everybody, you have a wonderful evening.
Peace and love,
you
family.
You can find the video after on YouTube if you didn't get to watch it live. Have a great day. See everybody soon. Peace and love.
Peace
Peace
out.
and love.